Welcome back to TalkNorth.com. Thank you for listening. If you can, please download before you listen. It helps our business. I'd also like to thank our producer, Brandon Morton, and let you know if you'd like to sponsor this program or any of the programs on the network, you can reach me at jsouhan47@gmail.com. Welcome back to the Cheryl Reeve Show, another remote edition of the Cheryl Reeve Show because Cheryl is still in Europe. We're going to talk about basketball, her trip. I think we're going to get to Serena Williams. We might even talk about Muppets this week. We're going to touch all of the logical bases. Thanks for listening to TalkNorth.com. We appreciate it. We do want to welcome a new sponsor, Bite Squad, BiteSquad.com. If you like the network, if you like this show, do us a favor, order something from Bite Squad this week. We're doing a 1-month trial run with Bite Squad. You go to bitesquad.com or download their app. Use the promo code TalkNorth. You will get your first delivery free. And you know what? Use the promo code TalkNorth repeatedly. Just do us a favor. We would appreciate it. Again, download for the best listening experience. We appreciate that as well. Thanks to Brandon Morton, our producer, and thanks also to SuccessfulMarketingGroup.com. That's Lori Ramsey's local marketing group. She's very impressive, has a great business going. Check out Successful Marketing Group /Cheryl Reeve to get a .com/Cheryl Reeve to get a free audit and to get to know her business. Let's start first of all, Cheryl. Just tell us where you are and how the week has been.
Well, right now, as of yesterday, we arrived into Canary Islands, Tenerife, Spain. So we're just off the coast of Africa. But it is indeed the country of Spain. So, beautiful place. Not a lot of beaches per se, but it's definitely obviously an island and very city-like. Our hotel is in the city, and we have a couple different venues that take us along the coast, so we get to see the beautiful scenery. And we'll do our first dinner out tonight. So I'm very much looking forward to Spanish cuisine.
Absolutely. My sister was just telling me, she's living in Germany right now. She was just telling me she was booking a vacation with her husband to go to Canary Islands. She's heard it so much. She's just heard it's stunningly beautiful.
Yeah. So I hope we get a chance to, we'll be parked here for, now this is the end of our trip. It'll be 12 days. So we'll be happy to have unpacked and to kind of, make this our spot and just really dive into the culture here in Spain. That's one of the things we get to do. It's, obviously we're playing basketball, but it affords us so many great opportunities to see so many neat places. So these are those times that you feel incredibly fortunate, and we're just going to try to soak it all in.
Fantastic. If anybody would like to sponsor this program or any across the network, which is rapidly growing, you can email me at jsouhan47@gmail.com. And again, if you can download before you listen, we would appreciate it. Any basketball news or developments you want to get into? One thing I should have brought up in one of our previous shows is Katie Smith being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I don't know how much you've come across Katie in your professional life, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Well, quite a bit. Katie's actually a committee member for USA Basketball. She's a part of the selection committee. So we had a chance to be together, kind of leading into her induction. We were up in Bridgeport, Connecticut when she headed on up to Naismith for the big weekend. So incredibly proud of her. Those are the moments that really hit you. A Naismith Hall of Fame that from a player, it's not something that's ever hit me, but from a player's perspective, you just kind of have that moment because you're just, as a player, you're just on to the next thing. You're trying to get better. You're trying to improve at a skill. You're trying to win a game. You're trying to win a championship. You move on to the next one, the next team you're a part of. And you just, you forge so many relationships along the way. But then there's this thing at the end when you have a career like Katie did, to be able to be acknowledged in a Hall of Fame. Not many people can say that they're a Naismith Hall of Famer, and now Katie's one of them. So, certainly the highlight of a career, and now she's gone into coaching, and so she'll get a chance to continue to be a part of it, and just continue to share her great love for the game.
I know you never make this about yourself. You never talk about your personal aspirations, but was there a time in your life, whether it was a kid, a high school player, college player, when you ever thought about the Hall of Fame?
No, I don't think that's something any player. Well, I shouldn't say that. Some that have that kind of talent go, hey, I'd love to be in the Hall of Fame someday, and maybe that drives them. But it certainly wasn't on my radar. I didn't have that level of talent. I have been fortunate along the way to have been inducted into a high school Hall of Fame. A couple other areas, in South Jersey. So it's a really cool honor, to say that you're in someone's hall or a wall of fame, whatever it is. And, I think I think some probably do, but it just wasn't how I was wired.
Any interesting developments with your team? I know you're spending time with Taurasi. Have you guys arm wrestled or anything yet?
We haven't. No, I stepped into a Twitter war, if you will, with Sue Bird.
Oh, I missed it.
And I lost. No, I came across, somebody posted this. The first world championship team for women's basketball was in 1953, and someone posted the photo. And so I thought I would zing Sue Bird and said that she looked the same. And I kind of circled number 6 on that particular team, kind of jabbing at Sue for being the oldest player. And then she kind of zinged me back. So yeah, there was a coach that she was able to impose my likeness on the shoulders of this person wearing this really cool coat that she apparently coached in. So Sue got me back, and I'll have to learn to stay out of Twitter wars with people younger than myself that have access to far more applications and whatnot to win the war.
That's a good point. She might be the worst opponent in that war. She's young enough to know how to use all the modern applications, and she's still incredibly competitive.
She is, and she's quite witty.
Yes.
So that was my one dabble into. But it's really been a fun team to be around. Great personalities. I've come to appreciate Diana Taurasi for the competitor that she is, the teammate that she is, her will to win. And so I think I said this on a prior podcast that this season in particular was just so impressive. I just thought the way that she prepared herself, and I named her as an MVP candidate because she certainly willed that team all the way to a tremendous semifinals against Seattle, and it was in position, to pull off that upset as the 5 seed. So, but it didn't happen, and but it certainly wasn't because Diana Taurasi wasn't providing them the will that was necessary. So she's been fun to be around, and certainly all of them. I mean, we finally got Brianna Stewart, Jewel Lloyd, Sue. We got them. Their first practice was last night. Elena Deladon from Washington. So we just got basically our full complement of players. After today's practice, we actually we had a scrimmage with Australia. We made a decision to make the final cut to get down to 12. So we now are at our final roster. And now it's about, kind of navigating. If you look at our roster, we're frontline loaded. We have a ton of 3, 4s, and 5s. We have a bit of a shortage at the guard spot. And so, we're going to look a little different. So we're going to be putting our heads together to figure out the best flow of our offense to capitalize on the skill set that we have. So we still have the best players in the world, even though we don't have, Maya Moore, Sylvia Fowles, Simone Augustus, Angel McCautry. Those are people that have been a part of this. And so we're with a new coaching staff in Dawn Staley, some new positions, it remains the same. Everyone wants to beat the USA. So we're going to have to be obviously really good, and we have to get good in a hurry.
It really struck me when in Rio that how important being a part of USA basketball was for Simone. She really talked about it with great reverence.
Yep. Yeah, and I know she was disappointed, to have an injury that kept her out of this because, like you said, it's incredibly meaningful to her, especially I think for someone like Simone who had it taken away from her in 2010. She wasn't able to be a part of that team. She had, returned from her injury, but she wasn't, all the way back, and she wasn't, as good as she got again in 2011 and got her spot back. And so, yeah, I know that it hurts all of our Lynx players not to be here and to be a part of this because they do value the heck out of it.
I said last week that I'm looking forward to these winter shows or fall shows because we're going to get into a lot of topics we always didn't have time to get to in some of our during season, mid-season shows. And I want to do that. I want to talk about Serena Williams at length here. I do want to thank, again, Bite Squad. You can go to bitesquad.com, download their app, use the promo code TALKNORTH to get your first delivery for free. Continue to use the promo code TALKNORTH just to let them know that you're supporting this program and the TalkNorth.com network, Bite Squad, food for your mood delivered. I also want to thank our primary sponsor, SuccessfulMarketingGroup.com. You just want to provide the best service you can. And you know marketing is vital to build your business, but it can also be overwhelming and confusing. Successful Marketing Group is passionately committed to businesses, helping them get found, get customers, and build dreams. We understand your problems and truly want to help you be successful, providing digital marketing packages with proven results. Go to SuccessfulMarketingGroup.com/Cheryl Reeve. And I've worked with Lori, and so one of my favorite things about her and her business, she thinks like a writer. She cuts through all the cliches and she gets down to messages that will be loud and clear for your customers. So what did you make of the Serena Williams episode? I guess I don't know of a better word to use to describe it.
Yeah, obviously really unfortunate. You hate to see at the U.S. Open in the championship match, and really, the young player in Osaka who clearly was prepared, who was outperforming Serena. So I think, unfortunately, I think the episode took away from how well Osaka played, and unfortunate for her because I don't think she gets to enjoy the success in that match as much as she should have been able to. And clearly, I think what it came down to was a chair umpire who clearly, and I think by his own admission, absent in communication. And I think that when I think about myself and being in an emotional state when the game, maybe events of the game or maybe officiating can cause you to get a little more riled up, that what's key, I think, in those moments is the temperament of the official in that situation, to recognize the heat of the moment, to recognize maybe what's needed, and to have a calming effect in that moment. So I have some officials in this league that I think are exceptional and that can simply say something to me that can actually bring me back and bring me to a better place. And there are other officials who are actually quite insightful in those moments. And I found this chair umpire to be in that category of, clearly not, respecting Serena. She clearly took exception to the idea that she was cheating, by being coached. And, obviously her coach put her in that situation. But I think when the umpire recognized, saw Serena's response to that, there would have been a way for him to, essentially give her a moment to calm down, to have that time, that have the reaction, when he issued a game. That's no small thing when she was down, and she was trying to fight her way back to win the second set. And so I think when that happened, that was a very, for him not to give her that moment, to not, try to settle the situation, to actually just have a response the way that he did, I think just marred the whole match. It was unfortunate. Obviously, it's still being talked about, and then enter into, I think, what Serena has gone through from the time that she was a young person, a Black female, entering into the world of tennis, where you largely see you don't see a lot of people of color. And so what she's endured through her career has been unbelievable, whether it be the sexism, the racism that she's endured. And I think she's been so resilient, and, her and Venus and, the entire Williams family, what they've gone through. And so this, sort of to me smacks a little bit of sexism as well for this particular chair umpire, if you look into his past. And so, you put all that together, it's a bad combination.
One of my favorite sports writers, Ann Killian, I think this is where I read it. She writes for San Francisco Chronicle. She said that she believes that the Serena and Venus story might be the greatest American sports story of all time. And I just never really thought of that way because I'm such a mainstream sports person. I think baseball, basketball, football so often, but you start thinking about it, and it might be.
Yeah, if you think about what they've number one, the the success, over and over and over and over again, and just what they provided